One day, Bob decided to go to the zoo. When he got to the ape cage, he found himself looking at a big male ape who was staring right back at him. When he scratched his head, so did the ape. Noticing this, Bob decided to have some fun. So, he started to scratch under his arms and jump around saying, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." And so did the ape. Stopping to think about what to do next, Bob scratched his chin as he was thinking. Before he could even react, the ape pulled the bars of his cage apart, jumped the moat, and that was the last thing Bob could remember. A few weeks later, Bob comes to in a hospital room and finds himself in full traction. When they realized that he was finally awake, the staff brought a man into his room and left the two of them alone. "Mr. Smith, my name is Albert. I'm the zookeeper, and I want to see if we can figure out what happened before you were attacked." "I don't know," replied Bob. "I was watching the ape and noticed he was mimicking my movements." "Please tell me exactly what you did," said the zookeeper. "Well, when I first noticed it, I was scratching my head. Then I noticed he was scratching his head too. So I started to play around and started to scratch my underarm and make ooh ooh sound." "Then what happened?" asked the zookeeper. "Well, I was trying to think of something else to do, and I think I scratched my chin, which is the last thing I can remember." "You scratched your chin? Oh, that explains everything!" exclaimed the zookeeper. "You see, in ape language, that means screw you." "Thank goodness, because if the attack was unprovoked, we'd have to put him down." Bob spent another 6 months in traction. If you've ever been in a cast, you can only imagine the misery of 6 months of not being able to move, or even get to that one itch without someone else's help. Bob spent the whole time coming up with a plan to get revenge on that darned ape. When he's finally released from the hospital, he goes to the local butcher where he buys a giant Polish sausage and a pair of butcher knives. He then goes straight to the zoo and marches up to the ape cage where he is soon standing face to face with his attacker. "Remember me?" he asked as he got the ape's attention. The ape was once again mimicking him. Bob just smiled, reached into his bag, and tossed a butcher knife into the ape's cage. When the ape picked it up, Bob got his attention by holding his own knife high while he reached into his pants and pulled the Polish sausage out through the fly. Just as he expected, the ape mimicked him, holding his knife high, holding his privates in his other hand. Seeing this, Bob sliced down with his big butcher knife, cutting the Polish sausage in half. Bob looked up smugly to see the ape's reaction. The ape was staring right back at him, scratching his chin.